Welcome to another episode of A Different Way of Life. I'm your host, JJ, and we got a special guest. We got my everything from my secretary, my lawyer, my therapist, the number one lady in my life, and the woman who gave me life. My mama, Hope, no more, Cotton, Lockhart, whatever. How you doing, ma?
I'm good. I'm good. How are you?
I'm all right. I'm all right. All
That's
right, and then
good.
we just kicked the things off with your childhood, like what area you grew up in. How were you as a kid, and what did you want to be when you grew up?
Well, I was born and raised on Linwood and Davison. I still live in that same area right now, as of today. And I was a good child. Let everybody tell you that. I was my mom's best child.
Mm,
And when what I wanted to be when I grew up, I don't know. I didn't really have no specific career. I was just like whatever came to me when I got to that point. It was what I wanted to be.
oh, okay.
So I could have been a few things at that time.
All right, and then the type of jobs like you had growing up, and like just throughout life. What kind of jobs did you have?
Well, I started working at a young age because my grandfather, he actually owned a store. So at that time, I was working then. And then when I got old enough to actually work, I did babysitting. And then as I got older, I was a cashier. And I moved from cashiering to escrow rep in the mortgage company. And from there, I went to school and became a cash poster for medical billing.
Okay, and then what was one of like your favorite job out of the ones you had?
Cashiering, but they ain't pay enough because I had to take care of some kids.
Oh, okay.
But I
And
love
then
cashiering
okay, and then why? What made cashiering stand out? More than any other job.
because it was always you get to meet people and I'm like a person that likes to help people, so that was something that like really got my attention to just be able to help somebody or do something for them. So cashiering was my one to go to job. Like
Okay.
a sit down job is was not my thing. It's boring.
And then I know you had like you started having kids young at a younger age, but before 18, did you expect to be a mom? Did you
No, I
want to
don't
be?
like kids. I don't like kids. I didn't want to be a mom, but I love my kids to death now. They are my life.
Okay. And then so with that being said, she had Jasmine first. That's my older sister. She's 3 years older than I am. So how was it when you first got pregnant with Jasmine? What was your like first initial thoughts? Were you scared? Was you anxious? Well, like how was you feeling?
Believe it or not, I did not know I was pregnant with Jasmine until I was 5 months pregnant. So at that time, it was like a shocker. I was like, oh, I'm about to be a mother. And then I had her, and my grandmother, his great grandmother, she took her on. So it was like I really wasn't a mother, but I was a mother because I was in her life. But she did, I still was going to school and working. So she took on that. So if she went somewhere, or if she was going out of town, Jasmine went with her. And so but I still was a mother.
And shout out to OG Olabelle for that.
Woo woo.
Okay, and then how was it being a mom for your first time?
It was crazy. It was crazy. A lot of stuff I wasn't expecting or knowing to do, but of course I said like grandma, she took on the role, so it was like easy. She made sure that I knew everything that I needed to know to raise Jasmine and take care of Jasmine, and so it was like she was there for me for sure, for sure. She was definitely there, and
Okay.
I appreciate her for being there for me.
Oh yeah. And then like with you just raising me, like you always had this kind of motto of where like you feel like yo, we were your life and you like you didn't party, you didn't really be a kid at all. You know, like you just was all about your kids and stuff. Um, did that come from who you were, or did that come from how you was raised?
Both. And actually, I had y'all young, but it was like my teenager years, like the 20s, where you would party. I did my kid. Trust and believe. I was a kid. I got that part out. It was just the actual like 21 and up part I didn't do. So yeah, I didn't hang out or whatever, but I did it was I didn't. I mean, I had to live for y'all because I wanted to make sure that
Oh,
the streets didn't take y'all.
you froze for a minute, man. What you say?
I said, I did. I mean, I didn't like party or anything, but I lived for y'all because I didn't want the streets to take my kids. I didn't want my kids to go to the streets, or it felt like they needed to find the streets or love from the streets or whatever. So I did what I had to do at that point.
Okay. And then so second time around, it wasn't as easy as the first time. So I gave you a few technical difficulties while I was trying to make my way into this world. But can you elaborate on like what was actually going on with when you was pregnant with me? Well, when it was time for me to come out.
Ooh, boy, you was you are I don't have no special kids. All of my kids are. I treat them all the same, love them the same. But this one right here, I was in labor for 3 days with him. He would not come out. He didn't want to come out, as he tells everybody. He was a yo-yo. Every time he came down, he went right back up. So they had to eventually decide to take him from me. So I had to have a C-section with him. And when he came out, he was the quietest child ever. You would have thought that he was just, oh, so sweet. But now I don't know what happened to him. But when he was a kid, he was the sweetest child ever.
God was he was trying to let you know it take time to make something this beautiful.
I should have known you would have said that.
And then as far as like that with so being a second time mommy, did I was I easier or it was the same or what?
It was the same. Like I said, once you came around, grandma took you on around with you. So it was both of y'all. It was two of y'all now. It wasn't just one, but it was two of you. But I never like, how these people had kids and somebody else take them on so they have more kids or whatever. It wasn't like that. It was just that happened. But grandma Olabelle put her foot again, came on in and did her job and helped me out once again. Once
One,
again.
one more time. Shout out to OG Ola Bell.
Yeah. Whoop, whoop.
And then you kind of touched on it, but so how was I as a kid?
Like I said, he didn't eat no food. The only thing he ate was cereal. So the food meal could sit right on the table. He'd be looking at that food like, why is this sitting here? And then after it get cold, he'll say, "Can I have some cereal?" I was like, "Boy, you just had a whole meal." No, you can't have no cereal. But of course, I gave my kids what they wanted. They all spoiled. So, but he was a quiet. His sister talked for him. Jasmine would make sure that she said whatever she had to say for her brother. And but they didn't get along. Trust and believe. They love each other, but they don't get along. I don't know why. I don't know how that happened, but yeah, he was the quiet child. He was the calm child. He, went with the flow. Like whatever we did, it was like okay with him. He didn't make a big issue besides when he started trying to get a little teenager and stuff. And he want to skip school and stuff. I'm like, what? Where did this come from? But we
Oh,
got him back on the right track, so that's all that mattered.
I don't know. I think you reading my notes or something, man. All right, go on. With her kicking the door right
The,
in. Is there is there an age that you can remember where I became not either too much to handle or I started smelling myself, so as they say.
Yeah, never that. You didn't come. You wasn't too much to handle. You was just being a kid, like any other normal kid. But you tried to be sneaky, but it didn't work half the time. Because look, I was a kid myself, and I wasn't even a bad kid. I just my siblings was the ones that was influencing me to do different stuff, but you was not a bad child. I can't even say, oh, I had any hard times with y'all. Even though y'all try to act like I beat y'all kids and did all this stuff, y'all got away with everything. Y'all didn't even have a punishment. What? You don't even know what that is.
All right, and so as far as like just being in the house and being there for what I was there until I was 20. I moved out at 20. So how did you feel the first time I asked to have female company?
Ooh, again, I say y'all spoiled. So I was like, okay, but then of course, you got a grandmother, not the great grandma, but the grandmother that always, what they up there doing? Go in there and check and see what they doing. I'm looking like I ain't got time for this. But at this time, I'm like mellowed down because he do have a little brother, of course. So by that time, I'm mellowed down. It's like it is what it is. So I didn't make no big issue, and I didn't think nothing of it. I knew that I raised him right, so it wasn't no thought or anything that he was gonna do stupid or So it was just I didn't have no thoughts on it. It was just like okay, yeah. But I knew you were supposed to do what you were supposed to do. So I put that in your hands, and you know, if
Fumbled the
you would have messed
bag.
up, it would have been the trouble. Because I don't do kids.
So basically I got Fat Daddy to thank for that.
Yeah. Yep, because after that, that's when I actually became a mother. You want to know when I became a mother is when your brother was born. That's when it hit me like, oh, this is what motherhood is supposed to be like. My other two kids was easy breezes, but this last one, he's a handful.
Oh yeah, he the
Still
one that
is.
broke down all the walls for us. Shout out Fat Daddy for that. Okay, and then like as far as with the women coming over, like did meeting that many women, we ain't gonna say the number, but meeting that many, did that make you look at me differently?
No, because as you know, you being a young man, you have to sow your oats and figure out yourself and do. I wouldn't want you to settle down with one person or you know just be dealing with so many, just that one person, and then down the line of life, you be like, oh, why did I just, deal with that one person? So you dealing with a few females was not a issue with me. Again, like I said, I raised you. I felt like you was mature enough to handle all these, the things that you were doing. So it wasn't no issue. It wasn't a concern to me at that point. I wasn't concerned because I knew that I raised you right, and you was raised. It wasn't like you didn't have male figures to know what was right and what was wrong.
Yeah. That's true. That's true. All right. And then so what was like some of your initial thoughts when I did take that leap and ended up moving out? Like what was going through your mind when I did, well, right after I moved out? What was going through your
Woohoo,
mind?
he gone. Like you say, I put you out, but I didn't put him out, y'all. He just kept on threatening me like I'm leaving. I just said when. That's all I said was when. So, that's not putting nobody out. That's just asking a question. When, don't threaten me with a good time. But no, I knew, again, like I said, you wasn't a bad kid. I knew that you was going to succeed in going out and actually living on your own. It wasn't going to be a struggle, even though you say it was. It wasn't no struggle for you, boy. You just be wanting somebody to feel sorry for you. You got this. You got this. I know you can handle it. So it wasn't no issue of nothing, but you was always welcome back home whenever you wanted to come back. Just had to deal with your little brother.
That's exactly why I never came back. I say if it's anything I'm gonna make this work.
Right, exactly. But no, it wasn't no. I didn't have any concerns. I didn't think like, oh my God, my child is out there and he not gonna make it or whatever. I I have positive thoughts and good things about y'all life, and it's going good for me, and we are blessed.
Yeah. And then what's one of like the best days that I don't know, it could be anything, but the best day before my accident. What was one of like a good day for you that just stick out farther than any other day?
That's a good question. All the days was good for me. And we always used to do stuff. We just went places, or we just you come over and we'll just do something. Or you always talking about what you cooking. Oh, yeah, I don't cook no more. You don't. I don't have to cook. But yeah, just you being around. It's like that. Those are my good days. Just you being around and you being Jeremy.
All right. And then it took a turning point. You know what I'm saying? We had a situation go on. So
Yeah,
just
fortunately.
just tell the people how September 5th, 2018, how did it go for you?
My worst day ever. Like, it was so horrible. I mean, it was like a normal day. And of course, I told him to leave his bike at my house because we was going over to his sister's house. And I said, leave your bike at my house and we can drive together and you just come back and, go home. No, he wanted to take the bike and go on. So it was closer to his house or whatever. So we sat over there for a minute and then we was leaving and I told him how to get to Hoover. And he was going left and I was going right, and we said our goodbyes. And next thing I know, Diamond called me and was like, have you heard from JJ? I'm like, no, not really. And from that point on, it was HELL. Like, it was, I couldn't get to the hospital. I didn't know how to drive. Now I know how to drive. I know how to get everywhere. But at that point, I didn't know how to get to the hospital. I was panicking. I didn't know. I mean, again, I say my kids are my life. So it was like I didn't know what to do. I was lost, literally lost. and it was like, I don't know. I don't even know how to describe it. It
Like an
was
outer
really
body experience.
yes.
Yeah.
Yes, it was horrible. It was like, oh my God. That was, like I said, that was the worst. Even though my son is here and I'm blessed that he's here, but at that point of time, it was horrible. It wasn't nothing that I would wish nobody to go through or anything, because it was horrible.
What so going in, where did you have any I guess any thoughts as far as like how bad it was going into the hospital? Did you think about anything like that, or you was just kind of just going with it?
No, I didn't. No, actually, it was like they said you was in an accident, but I wasn't thinking like nothing bad, because I didn't seen other people be in a motorcycle accident and maybe break their leg or something, and so it wasn't like nothing like that. It was just, I'm glad and I'm hoping that it's not bad, because they didn't tell us nothing when I got there. So I was thinking that it wasn't nothing really bad. It was just, okay, we gonna see what's wrong with them or whatever the case may be. When they came in that room and told me that, oh, I told Mr. Johnson he would never walk again, I broke down. I was done from that point on. They could have took my life with me, because I couldn't phantom that, what they said. And then of course, I'm sorry y'all, my son was 25 when this happened, and he was a grown man, but I felt like that was not their responsibility to tell my son nothing like that. I needed to break it to him a soft way, like, I need to tell him myself. And it was just like, I was devastated. Like, I didn't even like the doctor no more. He was an enemy to me, because I was like, you don't ever tell my son. I know that's y'all. I know y'all probably looking like, what is she talking about? No, don't break no bad news to my kids. Let me do it. I want to be the one to do it. But
Shout
yeah,
out, shout out, Dr. Volkov, man. The man,
yeah. Now
the
he,
man.
he my man
Yeah,
now.
shout out Dr. Volkov, man. So,
Yes,
and then
he
so
did the job.
he did, man. He did. So he was a smooth guy, man. Smooth guy. He came in, he told me, and he was like, this surgery it's not gonna make you walk again. So, but he came in, he laid it to me. I didn't at that time. I didn't. It's too big of a pill to swallow right then and there. So once he told me, I just was like, oh man. I was messed up about it, but they had me on like the meds they had me on. Yeah, I wasn't. I ain't even care at that time. Like I was just out of it. I was just out of it. But no, I definitely shout out Dr. V. Dr. V, appreciate you, man. And then, so what was like some of your first thoughts when he told you that?
I I couldn't think. I I ain't even gonna lie. I didn't have no thoughts. I was just like, literally just, I was out of it. I was literally out of it. It wasn't no thought. It was nothing. It was because first you told him that. Second, my son. I don't, because then it was at the point where I didn't know how you handled it. Even though you was a grown person, I always was there to hold the blanket over y'all and make sure that y'all didn't hurt yourself. So it was like, I didn't know how to. I didn't have no thoughts or anything, because I didn't know how you handled it, how you took it. What was it? You know, I don't know. It was a lot of stuff was going on at that time. Like, I was out of it, like for days, out of it.
Yeah.
You
Like I
you
said,
was
man.
on meds, but I wasn't. I should have been on some meds.
Yeah. Yeah,
Cause
they,
I'm
yeah,
telling you.
it was just such a big pill to swallow that it was. I don't even think you can even, I don't know. I don't think you can. It ain't nothing really you can really do at that time, But
Yeah.
just try to live with it and try to see how things is for real because like in there you in the hospital and is everybody's trying to process it and yeah it
Yeah.
was a tough day, definitely was a tough day. So
Yeah.
like
The only thing I did was pray, pray, pray. That's all I could do.
oh yeah. And then as far as like being in the hospital and seeing the routine they put me on and all that type of stuff, what was there anything that shocked you about it? I mean, outside of just your son not being able to walk again, but was there anything like that they did or you watched them do that kind of shocked you?
Yeah, they got you back together. Like you, I mean, you didn't have no upper body, nothing. You couldn't do. From there to now, and from there for like weeks, you was getting it together. I mean, yeah, that's what shocked me. That they got you together so soon, and you was able to, be able to, I ain't gonna say bounce back, but you did, somewhat bounce back. Like you was able to sit up and like every day, new things shock me all the time. I'm be excited. I'm gonna be excited. Yes, but yeah, it's just dealing with it every day. I mean, it hurts even as of today, and it's probably been what 4 years now,
Five. It'll be
going on
five.
5.
Yep, 5 in September. Yeah.
Every day, still, it's still. I mean, it's like you lost somebody, but you didn't. That's what I go through as a mother. I didn't lose you because you there physically, but mentally, I lost you. Like, you know,
Oh yeah.
it's just,
Yeah, I'm right there with you. Cause
yeah,
mentally I lost myself. You know what I'm saying? Like I tell my therapist all the time, like when like they're going through a situation that I went through, is like and it happening to me so young that at 25 I feel like I died and I came back half of the person I was. Like it was and it's just hard to like an able-bodied person, they wouldn't really understand what that feel like or just it's just I don't know, you take stuff like that for granted. Like you will never think that it's something or a act out of life that can kill you but bring you back as what I'm saying. Like it's just like is you a totally different person. You don't think the same.
yes,
You don't feel the same. You don't act the same. It's just it just I don't know. It's tough, but
yeah,
and
it
then
is.
and with like all of the bowel program, the cathing, the when I had my pressure sore, out of all the stuff like that, was it was is there anything that what makes you feel the most uncomfortable doing, or made you feel the most uncomfortable doing?
What? Who you talking to? You talking to your mama? Your mama. I did not feel, even though you might have felt uncomfortable, but I didn't feel uncomfortable with doing anything because I felt like this is something I have to do, even if I had to like start all over again. That's what it's got to be. I just no, it wasn't no uncomfortable nothing for me. I mean, I probably put you in an uncomfortable situation. You want me to do that for you? You be looking at it like, no, ma, you my mama. I don't care. I'm gonna do it anyway. I'm doing it for you. I'm gonna do it. I don't want you to do nothing. So yeah, no, I didn't have no nothing, anything. I mean, I would go to the moon and back for my kids. So But that being said, no, there was no uncomfortable nothing. Whatever needed to be done was gonna get done by me. Hey, look, teach me how to do it. What we gotta know how to do this? Okay, yeah, that's all right. We gonna do this. We'll do this.
I appreciate that, Mom. All right, and then so from for you, personally, how is it having a physically disabled child?
Hard. It's hard. And it's not hard because you disabled. It's hard because it's like I say again, you're not the same person. So, and you might not think that I feel anything or feel you, but I do. It is like really hard. Like it eats me up every day, even though, I still be walking around acting like everything is all right, or I try to make you feel like everything is all right. But when I'm by myself, it's a whole different ball game. I'm like tears, crying, doing everything, because it's not the same no more. It's like we can't do what we used to do. Like we did stuff. You would come over here. We can't have. I mean, we have Thanksgiving dinners and all that stuff, but it's not the same. It's just everything is different now. It's like everything is different, so it's kind of hard. But you know, again, I say I just keep on praying, and it's gonna get better. He gonna get us through. He not gonna give us no more than we can handle. So but it's hard. It's hard.
Well, I already know. I'm gonna ask you a question, and I already know. I know the answer to it. But so, do you think it's harder with me being here in this situation, or do you think it would have been easier if the accident killed me?
Well, I'm selfish, so I'm gonna tell you right now. I think it would be easier you being here,
Okay.
because if they would have took you away from me, they would have had to bury two people. And even though I got two other kids, I don't know how to do that. I wouldn't know how to separate myself. Like literally, like I wouldn't be able to function like I'm functioning now. Even though it's hard, and I say it's hard, I don't think I could have been there for your younger brother, or my grandchildren. I couldn't, because I never know how it feels to lose a child, but it's still I don't think I will be able to like be who I am now, or to you know deal with it if you was gone. So I think it's easier you being here and being in your situation, knowing that's not what you want to do. I'm just selfish, but I'm telling you, we'll be burying two people, and they be like, "Well, why did she leave her other kids?" And and look, and I say I don't have no favorite kid. It's just that if any of my kids, I'd probably be the same way. I don't know. Like I said, my kids. I live for my kids. They are my life, literally, literally.
Appreciate that. Well, not gonna say what I wanted to pick, but
I know you, because we don't want to know what you wanted to pick, because we already know that, and that ain't what we talking about. So we can scratch that one off your list.
alrighty, moving right along. And then, so overall, how do you feel? I'm taking it.
Oh Lord Jesus, you taking it harder than you should take it,
Oh
because
God.
you should literally, you should be blessed that you here, because it's people out there worse than you, in the worst situation than you are, and I mean, you just spoiled, and you like to have it your way, and it's just like you can't get it your way, so you just like, "Ugh, this, oh, life is just, but it's not. It really is not. If you just gotta to focus on the good that you have and stop focusing on the bad that happened. Because I ain't gonna put that on there. I was gonna say something, but I might go to jail for it if I say something. I'm just gonna not say that. You know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. But like when and then I always tell my therapist that because she always say, well, she always asks me, what do you guys say? And I say they always try to say, oh, it's people that have it worse than me. Well, mine, because somebody have it worse than me don't mean my situation is good.
No, it's not, but you have to look at the positive of it. Like you could be in the bed, can't move, can't do nothing, like just just there. Like you still able to get up, you still able to move around, you still able to go places. It might not be what you want to do. It might not be as fun as it would have been if you was, but you're still able to do those things. You understand what I'm saying?
And with the last question, what 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 what's one of the best days since my accident? One of the better
Um,
days since my accident. Could be anything.
um, I know I'm trying to think because whew, I mean, you be making it hard for me because you don't be wanting to do nothing. I be trying to
uh,
make it. I be trying to get you excited and all that. And you be like, "Girl, what is this?" I be
exactly.
like, I be like, one of the good days is when you are good.
Yeah.
As long as you good, my days is gonna be good. So I mean, I can't even pick no days. As long as you're good and you're having a somewhat of a good day. Now I know you don't have good days, but as long as you having somewhat of a good day, I'm good. So those are my good days. When you good, I'm good.
I
Those are my good
appreciate that.
days.
Yeah. I mean, I would say one of them was when I was actually able to go kart racing.
Oh, you
That was
like
a
that?
yeah, 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 that was one of my highlights
Pat me
because
on the back.
no, seriously, because like it ain't much for us to do. Like people in
Mm-hmm.
wheelchairs is not too much for us to do. So it was like for that to, and then like everybody out there, they were so accommodating and they was making sure I was
Mm-hmm.
comfortable and they even let us go around and a couple
More,
more times than they supposed to.
right.
So,
Yeah.
but yeah, that definitely was a highlight. As much fun as I've had since in the 5 years.
Oh, that's
Um,
good. I'm
yeah,
glad.
yeah. And that's probably it right there.
We
That's
yeah,
probably it.
we just have to. I have to find some more stuff for you to do.
Yeah, yeah.
I'll be trying to find some exciting things for you
Mm-hmm.
to do because I already know how you are. You're my
Yep.
child, so I know you. So, but yeah, but
Yep.
that was an exciting day. I was
Yeah.
glad that it because I went the day before y'all. Remind y'all, I went the day before to make sure everything went
It was perfect.
perfectly for him.
Say, cause that
I ain't
nigga
want
ain't
no
coming back out here.
hiccups.
He ain't
I
gonna
ain't
go
want no
nowhere else with
hiccups.
me. Yeah, yeah,
No
no.
hiccups. I had to
Mm.
make sure everything was perfect. Like,
Uh,
look, I had to put his brother in the car. Can you fit in there? Is it gonna be all right? It was like these people probably was like, "What's wrong with these people?"
uh,
But I did all that, and I was just glad that he did enjoy himself because it
yeah, no.
was fun.
It
It was
was, it
like
was.
somewhat of a normal. That's what it was. It was somewhat
Hmm.
of a normal.
And that's all we really looking for when you be in a situation like this. Anything that get you as close to normal as you can feel, we
Yeah.
look forward to it. But I appreciate you, Ma. Appreciate your time. Um,
I love you and
I love
always.
you always and forever, girlfriend. All
Yes.
right, and we wrap up another episode of A Different Way of Life.